Sandra Embleton here, and I want to make a video today because I was guided to, and because I was getting feedback from my last video. Do you think you could meet Jesus? Is it possible for you to actually encounter and meet Jesus? So I had some people talk about the end of the video where I was saying that I had met all these amazing people who had passed over into heaven, but I'd actually met them in this life. And how can that be? And the answer that I have is because I am in the kingdom of heaven, that I can know those great spirits when I run into them. Like King David and Confucius and Jim Morrison and some of the other amazing souls. Elvis, yeah, I've met Elvis. So you're thinking, how can she say that she's met that person? So I wanted to explain how I can make that claim so that you can understand where I'm coming from. So in order to make this video, last week and this whole last week, I've been conducting my own personal survey with friends and people that I've run into. And the survey that I've been conducting is this. I'd ask people, if you believe that when you die, you go to heaven, what do you think you'll find there? And so when I interviewed and asked this question to a lot of people, I got everything from the streets are paved with gold, I'll meet angels, I'll meet rock stars, and that guy was right on. And, you know, I'll find peace and tranquility. A lot of people said family members. They'll find they'll find their family members. Some people said they don't believe in heaven. They don't believe they go on, that this is it, that there's no consciousness after our energy leaves our body. We completely lose consciousness, and that our energy dissipates, but they don't know where it's gone or haven't really given it much thought. Someone actually said they were too young to think about it and had no answer. And sadly, someone said that they hoped it didn't go on because then there'd be an end to their pain and their suffering and their misery. And they're going to be glad when it's over. Somebody actually told me that they were going to hell so they didn't have to worry about it. So my responses that I received to that question were most enlightening. And why I asked that is because we believe and have been conditioned to believe that you must die, the physical body must die before you can enter into a state of heaven. And I believe that that is a misconception. I believe that you can actually be in heaven when you're in the body. And it has to do with your ability to have the conscious awareness that there's more going on than what presents itself in the world of the physical. It allows you to open up to the possibility that there is the kingdom, the spiritual kingdom, and the world of the physical. And the two worlds have been separate for a long time. But they really haven't been separate. It's the veil between them has been like a great distance. But now what's happening in this time is the kingdom of heaven, the spiritual kingdom of God, and the physical world are coming closer and closer. And when they say the veil's getting thin, it means the two worlds are now touching. So that some of those people who are on the planet right now, who are devoting their time to knowing God, to their meditation practices, to their conscious opening, the awareness of more going on than what appears to be, these people are able to tap into more information. Consciousness and being more conscious is opening the door to greater wisdom, to greater knowledge. And when you seek it, you're rewarded. It's seeking out first the kingdom of heaven, like I said. Well, when you do that, the whole purpose is that if you seek out God, he rewards you by giving you more knowledge. And so if you want to know more knowledge, you seek out God. It's pretty simple. And it's very rewarding. So as you progress along on your path and you allow your mind to open and receive new thoughts, that is a prerequisite, because we must break through our conditioning, thinking that we can only access heaven unless we die. So, if people think that when they die they're going to meet their relatives and only then, I would invite you to look at the possibility that perhaps your relatives are living on in your children and in your grandchildren. And perhaps communities that you have once been in throughout your many lifetimes are actually your neighbors, or they could be a church group or a study group, or people you work out with at the gym. You might have all been a community in a past life, and now you're back again, and you've gravitated towards one another. But in this lifetime, it looks, oh, I'm just working out at the gym. I have a gym membership, and here's so and so and so and so. But you gravitate towards people, and you make friends, and there's certain people you like, and certain people you don't gravitate towards, and you tend to have a family outside of the home or in your community, whether it's playing bridge or whatever you choose to do. So I would invite you to look at that and say, okay, in the physical world, it just appears like, oh, I'm so-and-so and I'm going to the gym and I'm meeting this person. But when you open up into the kingdom of heaven, you start asking questions and go, why am I gravitating towards this person? Why do I end up going to this gym or this church or whatever? What is it that's pulling me to this place? There's more going on than meets the eye. So when you open up and ask those questions, is there more going on here than what I realize? And then you hear a thought, or you get an idea, or you're sitting still, you're meditating, and oh, well, you're meant to meet this person because they have information for you. You were in a soul group before. Read the Celestine Prophecy and Ken Redfield's books. I don't know what I would have done without those. When I started entering the kingdom, I would have been lost, but they were my roadmap, and they helped me to move into a higher state of awareness. And this higher state of awareness is easily achieved by asking questions. Why is this? What's going on? I know it looks like this, but what's really going on? And so you're questioning always, and looking at the big picture, and then listening to the first thought you get in your head. The first answer you get in your head, learn to start to trust that. Because at first it might seem like, oh my God, that's crazy. What do you mean? Okay, I'll give you an example. I was out for dinner with a group of people this summer, and believe it or not, I met this one man in the morning. I heard spirit, like when we saw each other, when we met each other, we instantly gravitated towards one another. We stood in front of each other, and I looked at this man and I went, oh my God. And I started to cry, and he looked at me and started to cry. And we both hugged each other, and I'm going like, oh my God, I just loved him so much, and I didn't even know him. And he and I both connected, and it wasn't very long at all when I go, oh my God, this man's King Richard. King Richard from the time of Camelot. I ended up being with him that day. He invited me to a dinner party. Now I'm sitting at a table with 1 to 5 other people that I'd never met before in my life, and I'm sitting in this amazing house in Goderich in Ontario, and I'm looking around this table, and all of a sudden I hear, oh, well, in a past life, you were all in a monastery together, a nunnery, and this lady at the head of the table, whose house it is, she was Mother Superior. The other four women sitting around the table were the head sisters who ran the convent, and the man at the end of the table, aka King Richard, was actually the father who resided over the convent. We'd all been together in a past life, and here we were united, sitting around having dinner together. And you can hear this and you might say, oh, Sandra, what a great imagination, which I do have. But the point is, yeah, that's what I heard. I heard that's where we were all connected from in a past life. Now, I can choose to disregard that message. I can choose to go, oh, I didn't hear that. Oh, that's ridiculous. So that's silly. Or I can choose to embrace it. And if I choose to embrace it, now all of a sudden, the conscious awareness of, oh my God, we've met before. No wonder we instantly all got along. We all have a different bag of skin on, but it's the same souls and we're reconnecting. We're reconnecting with one another. And isn't that more fun to think of life like that than it is when you hear the doubt and the negativity? Okay, so when you are in heaven, you meet people, friends from your lifetime, this time and past lifetimes. So here I am sitting around and I get to visit with King Richard. Now, we all think King Richard's dead. He's in history, long gone. How could you ever meet him? Well, you'd meet him when you die and went to heaven. But that's the whole point, what I'm trying to make, is that I don't have to die to go into heaven and to meet King Richard, because God just brought him to me. So being in a state of heaven on earth is actually in a state of awareness of there's more going on. Who am I really with? Who am I meeting? Paying attention to the signs, paying attention to, like I heard this on the radio this morning, and then this afternoon I saw an article about this, and then wouldn't you know it, tonight this happened, and now I'm dancing and I'm hearing these songs. And bring into the awareness you might actually be with somebody or meeting somebody that is actually a big spirit in the kingdom of heaven. But when you allow for the possibility that you're meeting those souls, you can be in heaven on earth. So I'm absolutely believing that it's like we're walking around here in the world of the physical, but imagine you're on a cloud. Imagine you're in the sky. Imagine you're in heaven where anything's possible. And you could be walking along your cloud one day and walk into Leonardo da Vinci. And you could be walking and meet Isaac Newton, Sir Isaac Newton. Yes, and I have met him. He's been in my home. The man's a genius this lifetime too. Oh, his story's incredible. Oh my goodness. This man actually is so amazing. Whenever he gets in a bath or a shower, he just starts channeling and downloading mathematical equations and ideas for homes and future things for the human race. Like, he's still being Isaac Newton, but he's here now. He's here now in a different body. And I can know him. And to me, that's the miracle. To me, that's the fun of being in heaven while you're on earth, is you can meet all these great people. And that's what I do in my Spirit Talk show. If you watched my Spirit Talk show, my first show, I have an interview with Michelangelo, the artist sculptor. Now, that's just a crazy story because I met that man. My son gave me a gift certificate to a hairdressing salon. Didn't know who I was meeting or anything. I show up. This is the guy who's cutting your hair. He's cutting my hair, and 2 minutes later, I'm hearing this guy's Michelangelo. And my whole body, it's breaking out into tingles. And then I go, okay, you're going to think I'm like really crazy, but you're Michelangelo. Like, I know you are. I can tell. I'm hearing it. You're Michelangelo. And he just froze. And he looks at me and he just says, oh my God, my body's breaking out into tingles. He says, you know what? He says, that's so strange you're saying that. He says, when I went to high school, I did my major project on Michelangelo. I've always been gravitating towards him. So my point is that those great souls that walk the earth at the time of Christ, or any time in history, really, truly come back again and again. And you can actually meet them when you have the knowing and you're open to the idea that they're back. And that's why I do the Spirit Talk show. I have some great people that I want to have on my future shows. I've met Gandhi, and I have met Elvis. She's probably a 20-year-old girl right now, and I'd love to have her on because her story's phenomenal. When you hear it, you won't believe some of the stories from some of the people that I'm meeting. So I do want to share that with you, and I do just wanted to say, open up to the possibility of heaven on earth being a reality. Saying that I met Jesus and then it's a possibility for you, and it's a one-on-one experience. I believe that has gone on always. One of the ladies that I met, her son was in an incredibly bad accident. He had been out with his friends. I'm not sure if he'd been drinking or not. I have no idea, and I wouldn't like to say that if he wasn't, but nonetheless, he ended up being in a very serious car accident on the way home. And after speaking with the mom and him, just before he apparently his car hit the tree, he turned and looked beside him, and on the passenger seat, Jesus was sitting there. He saw him. So to say that it doesn't happen, to say that it's not possible, I think you limit yourself. And I believe the time is now when the two worlds are coming together, and I would invite you to rethink and relook at the people around you. There's more going on. Be Indiana Jones. Search it out. Find out everything there is to know about you and your family, and ask to be allowed into the kingdom of heaven. And then do your due diligence and see what miracles can happen. Thank you. We'll talk again.